Hi, welcome to my channel. So today's topic is SCD type 2 implementation in Informatica. So we'll discuss about SCD type 2. So what is SCD type 2? How we can implement in Informatica. So this SCD type 2, so we can implement different ways in Informatica. So different approaches. So that is date approach, version approach, flag approach. We will discuss about the data approach. So remaining that the two approaches are similar. So first we will discuss what is SCD type 2. So then we can create informatica mapping and then how it will process the data and all we can discuss. So this is our source table. See, I have created a table like this, employee name, sal, and address like this. So we'll maintain history on address column. So if any customer change this address, so we'll create one more record in target table. So that way we can maintain the history. So SCD type 2 is basically it will maintain full history data. So type 2 is current information that is update else insert. Then type 2 is full history we will maintain in target table. So type 1 is update else insert, type 2 is full history. So this is our source data. So if you want to implement SCD type 2, so along with source columns, we need to create three extra columns in this is employee. Sorry. Okay. So this is our source table. So if you want to implement SCD type 2, so along with source columns, we need to add three extra columns in target table. So that is dimension key. So this is a surrogate key column. So this is some sequence values it will store usually like 1 to 3 values like that. Then we need to create effective start date and end date. So along with source columns, we need three columns that is dimension key, start date, end date. So these two columns are date columns. So wherever effective start date is not null and effective end date is null, that record is an active record. So that we'll discuss later, like how it will store the data, how it will maintain history and all. So I have created table like this in target as well already. So that is dimension key and source columns, then start date and end date. So the start date and end date, we need to get date column. So that is data type is date. So then dimension key is a number. So it's a sequential number. So 1 to 3 values it will store. Okay, so SE type 2, how it will maintain history first. So first whenever we'll start our job, so it will go and check in target table. So we'll do lookup on target table. So then it will go and check in target table. If it is not there, so then it will insert a record like this, and the dimension key value is 1. Then start date is stage date, that is today's date. Then effective end date it will be null. So means currently this customer this employee it is staying in this address, means effective end date wherever it is null, that is active record. So like that it will store all record like this. This is sequence number. So then effective start date is this date. So these all are active records. So that is first time. So in future, like some employee, any employee, so for this employee, this address has been changed in source level. That is from Chennai to Kolkata, it is changed. So in that case, what will happen? So assume like after 1 month, that is 18/6, next month, June 18. So the address has been changed from Chennai to Kolkata for this employee. So then what will happen? So these records, it will not go and update or insert in target table, because so this data doesn't change. So that is the reason. So what will happen? So this record only, it will go and check in the target table. So it is already exist. So this employee, it is already exist. So if it is already exists in the case, in that case, what will happen? It will update that end date. So if whenever we will process this data, that day it will update. That is 18/06 2023. So it will update, means that is it will close that record, means that Chennai record, it will close that address, it is already been changed. So then we can understand like this employee, it is he is staying from 18/05 to 18/06 2023. He stayed 1 month in Chennai. So then he moved to some other address, that is KLK. So it will insert one more record like this. So then that start date is that whenever we process it, that next month we will process it. So in that case, that is also switch date only. So now this is null. So for one employee, we have two records. So that one employee ID, two records we have. So it may be like 3, 4, whatever. So always one active record. That is effective end date is null is only one record. So whenever this address it will change, it will create one more record and it will update previous effective end date with this date. So that way we can maintain history in SCD type 2 implementation. So this is effective date approach. We can implement in version and flag approach also. It is also similar. So this is mostly we use in most of the organizations. So they will prefer this data approach. So version flag also, like version is like 0, 1. That way we can give, like if it is an active record, we will give 1, else we will give 0. Okay, so we'll implement in Informatica how it will work and how we'll maintain that history record in Informatica. So I have a source table already I have created, and I have some data around 11 records I have. So I have already created mapping. So I will explain like how it will work. So first is like source qualifier. So then we need to do lookup on target table. So that is already we have target, whatever target we have. For that, in the target we need to do lookup. So this is our target table also. So we are doing lookup on the target table. So this employee ID is the condition we are taking from source, and that is the condition employee ID to employee ID, source and target employee ID we are matching. From there, we are taking dimension key. See, usually whenever we'll do lookup on type 1 implementation, we are taking like employee ID, LKP employee ID. But here we are taking dimension key, because dimension key is always unique. But employee ID, it may be like repeated values. There might be a chance. Like in history, we are maintaining, right? So that's the reason we have multiple values. So you can see that 100 employee, it is repeating 2 times. The same way, whenever address here it is changed, so then we will can maintain history here as well. So that is the reason for one employee, there might be a chance for multiple IDs. So that's the reason we are taking this is unique. That's why we are taking lookup key value is dimension key. So this value we need to create a primary key in target table. So then only we can do updates or inserts. Sorry, updates. So insert we can do without primary key, but so when you want to do updates, we need a primary key. So that is the condition. I have taken dimension key into router transformation. That is I renamed as a LKP dimension key. So then address also I'm taking from lookup. This is LKP underscore address. So then source values as it is, I am taking from X to expression to lookup. Sorry, router transformation. So along with that source columns, I have created two columns, that is effective start date and effective end date. This start date is sysdata hard coded, like end date is null. Then in router I have created two groups. One is insert, update and insert this group. So first one, insert is null of lookup dimension key. So that is first case. So whatever I explained earlier now, so that case it will work. Like first time it will go and check all record. It's not finding any match in target table. So then it will go and insert. So that is first group. Then not is null of lookup dimension key means if it is already there, that dimension key. So, and lookup address and source address is different. So if it is same address, we no need to do updates and we no need to maintain any history if the address is same. So if address is if address is same, so we no need to do any operation like insert updates. So then address is different, then we need to maintain that history record and we need to update that previous existing record end date with sys date. So we need to close that record. Okay. So here that insert group, we are inserting, we are not using any transformation, directly we are inserting into the target table. So here we need three target instances. Like first one is insert one. So this is table is one. I just renamed like insert one, insert two, and update. So whenever we have this is null, so then that first group is null, insert group. So we'll load into directly we'll inserting into the target table. So while inserting, so here we have taken that start date is this date and end date is null. So that will insert. Then dimension key we need to populate, that is sequence generated transformation next value. So that is like 1, 2, 3 values we want to populate it. So that's the reason we need to give next value code to dimension key. So then that is fine. That is for first group. Then second group, here it will happen two operations. So one is like it will say second operation is like this record will go and check into the target table. So it is already there. So in that case, what will happen? We'll update that effective end date. For updating, we'll use this flow. So same group, we are using two flows. One is update, another one is insert. So this update, what we are doing based on the dimension, we are updating effective end date. That value we are updating sys dates. From sys date, we are updating effective end date. So that is update. That's that previous record we are closing. For closing this record. So we are using this flow and this is insert. For one more record that will insert, effective end date is sys date and effective end date is start date is sys date and end date is null. So that is an active record. So previous record we are closing because the address has been changed from Chennai to Kolkata. So currently he is staying this address. That is the reason it's not ended that address. So that's the reason end date is null. So whenever this employee address it is changed from KLK to some other address, so that times again this record will close and it will insert one more record. So that's the reason this not null condition we are using two flows and two operations it will happen. One is insert and other one is update. So, so that way it will work for SCD type 2 implementation. It's very easy. So we need to take three extra columns, dimension key, start date and end date. The start date is sys date and end date we need to populate null from expression transformation. So then dimension key will populate from sequence generator next value transformation. Okay, so now we'll create session and workflow for this one and we'll run and execute like how it will process data from source to target. So I have already created a session for this one as well. And apart from that, we will have one more option in lookup transformation. See, in lookup override, we are taking like all select star from that table. This is target table lookup override where effective end date is null. So this why we are taking effective end date is null in lookup, because assume like this employee 1003 employee 100 times this address has changed. So what will happen? 100 records it will insert. So one employee it will be 100 records. So always like one active record, that is effective end date is null is one record, remaining all records effective end date is closed, means effective end date is null only one record. So if you give end date is null, it will fetch and it will create lookup cache on only one active record only. So it will not take all 100 records. So remaining 99 records it will ignore. So for that reason, we need to use this option effective end date is null. So then it will create only active records. Based on the active records only, it will create the cache. Okay, so let me run this one. So now here is like if update insert one insert two, but insert one it is all 11 records loaded into insert one because it's since all are new records. Just I'm removing all this portion here. So now what will happen? So it will insert record like this. So let's see what it's happened in target level so then we can understand clearly. See all records. Yeah, this records why it is coming from 11th is I have already ran this job. So it's keep on increasing that value. So that's fine. That you can ignore. And this one. So this way it has been inserted. Like this is effective start date is this date and effective end date is null. So that is fine. For one employee, I will change data here. Any employee. So I will update the data. For this record, I will change like this. New commit. So now the data changed here. So now if you run this job, see remaining here update is one and insert it two. Insert two is one record. So now if you check here, so this data effective end date is today's date only because today only we ran this job. So usually it will be like future date we're supposed to run. Usually address will change in future date only. So like next month or next year it will change. But if you want to run job in same day, so that's the reason this date also it is getting same day. So then that record, one more record is it inserting, that is effective start date is this date and effective end date is now. If you change again this record from KLK to some beyond Bangalore, it is changing this record. So now if you see that it will insert one more record into target table. So only update and insert it will happen. It's insert one because it's we don't have any new records in source table. So that's the reason. So update one and insert two is one. So this is insert two group. This sorry, update group. This is update flow. So this is insert two. So now for 1003 employee, we have three records. Three records, but always one active record, that is effective end date is null. So these keys also it is unique always, like 13, 20, 23. It will be always unique values. So this way we can easily understand, like for 1003 employee, from which date to which date is stayed in this address. That way we can clearly understand based in this effective start date and this effective date approach. So some other approach like version or flag approach, what we can say like, so we cannot understand like the tenure, like how many days he stayed in that address. So we can only understand like whether it is active in this address or is already deactivated on that address. But that way only we can understand, but we cannot able to full history we cannot able to understand in this at the version and flag approach. So this way we can understand like tenure duration, how many days he stayed in this address. So that is about effective date approach. So type 1 is like updates, inserts here will maintain current information. Type 2 is full history will maintain. So here we have different approaches like version, flag, date approach. So this is effective date approach. So usually they will ask questions like this: how we can know the active record in type 2 implementation? So based on this effective end date is null. So those record are all are active. So remaining records are deactive records. That's already closed records. That is, we can say it is a history records. So that's about type 2 implementation. So if you have any questions, so just mention in comments so I can answer those questions. Okay, thanks.